I've never thought I would ever do this, but today I'm going to give you a tour of my home-based cake studio. If you're a home baker, I'm sure you can relate to the importance of having a space dedicated just for your baking and cake decorating. Here is just a little glimpse into my former living room that I converted into my own personal cake studio, where I can create edible works of art week after week for my wonderful clients.
So I typically will start my day by writing out what cake sizes and cake flavors that I need to bake. I'll write them on my dry erase board, and then as I'm baking, I just mark them off. So this is my go-to printer. I use this for all of my prints. Anything that I need to print that is non-edible, I will print on here. I also use this printer to print all of my labels that I put on my boxes or my cake care kit. So yeah, this is a really good printer. I will leave the link in the description below. So over in this corner, I have all of my aprons that I use. Now this is my edible printer. I absolutely love this printer. I will also leave this link to this printer in the description as well. And then over here, this is my KitchenAid table. I do use a couple of KitchenAids when I am making multiple different batters, or if I'm making multiple batches of buttercream, I definitely will have two of these KitchenAids going. And then down here is just like a little catch-all. So I have my flavorings in this bucket right here. I have my timer. These are my edible print cartridges, the ink. I have some Rice Krispies just on hand, just in case I need to make some type of edible topper. And then I have my Crisco and my oil, and then I have some pans and some oven mitts. So in this area, of course, we have to have some type of source of entertainment. So I have my little TV right there on top of my freezer. And then I use this. This is my refrigerator that I use to put my cakes in. All right, so on my stainless steel shelves, I have quite a few different things. So I use these shelves to kind of stay organized. And then these drawers, they work really well. Up top, that's actually just a little catch-all for an extra cake box that I put together that I did not use. These are the bowls that I use to put my cupcakes in before I freeze them. So once I bake them, let them cool, I will put them in these containers right here. And these are the bowls that I use for my buttercream. That's just a little cake dummy. I have a ton of these Wilton buckets from buying all of the fondant that I use, and they work really, really well for storage. This is a cute little oven mitt that a company sent me. I'll also leave their information in the description as well, but I've had this for about 5 years and I've never used it. I refuse to use it. It's just so, so cute, and the inside is super duper soft. So on this shelf, I have my powdered sugar that I sift. I have some tape that I use for my boxes, my cleaning cloths, parchment paper, my saran wrap, and my steamer. And then down here, I definitely need to restock my shelves. So I have my cake mix. Right here, I have an extra bowl. This is just a mat with a rolling pin on the inside. This is my airbrush compressor. And then again, these storage drawers work really, really well. As you can see, I did not put labels on those, but the first one, I usually use that for all of my baking tools. This one is an impression mat or impression tool. This is my drawer with all of my silicone mats. This drawer right here, I use that to store like all of my styrofoam balls. This drawer right here is what I use for all of my props when I am recording and making content. And then down there, that is honestly just a catch-all. These are just some extra boxes that I have. So on these shelves, on the top shelf, I like to keep some type of cake decor. I love keeping faux cakes around in my studio. I believe it just is a great work of art. So I like to always keep some type of decorated dummy cake in my cake studio. And on this shelf is where I like to keep all of my buckets of my cake supplies. So what I did was, again, these are the buckets from fondant. from Wilton's Fondant. So I just took the label off and then I created these in Cricut, and then I used my Cricut to cut these letters out. And it just really helps keep me organized, keeps things, I like know where things are. I know what supplies I have. So these are really good to keep if you do have these. These are great. They come with a nice top. You can wash them, and they also have a nice handle. So this shelf is definitely a shelf that I use constantly when I am working, hence the organized mess. But this shelf is widely used. I have all of my coloring and my dye right in here, my food coloring. This is where I keep my airbrush colors. These are a lot of the tools that I use in my glue sticks. I also use a lot of fondant tools and my edible markers. I like to keep that in here, so when I'm working, I can just grab the whole thing. And on this shelf, I like to keep my metallic colors. I have my glitters in this bin right here. Again, I love to use these buckets for more storage. So those actually have molds in those. I haven't made the labels that I made on the other ones, but yeah, these also have molds in those. I have a lot of cake molds. On the last shelf, I have more storage containers with more supplies. So I got these bins from Ross about 5 years ago. So I don't know if they still have these or not, but they definitely hold a lot of things. And then I use my Cricut again to make these vinyl letters to stick them on there. So again, it just keeps me really organized, and it makes it easier for me to find things as I am working. And here is where all of the magic happens, on these two tables right here. So on this first table right here, this is where I do mainly all of my work when I'm not recording. And then on this back table right here, this is where I use to record all of my cake decorating videos. So this is also where I take my cake pictures as well.
So there you have it, a glimpse into my world of cake. I have created so many wonderful cakes and learned so many lessons within these four walls, and I am forever grateful for this space. If this video resonates with you, let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed watching this video, YouTube thinks you'll like the next video on the screen. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.